All right, let's start with this. You know, a lot of times we forget how good a balloon event we have. This is from Wisconsin. Winds up to 40 miles an hour.
Oh.
And these guys are trying to do what I think is a glow, would be my guess, the equivalent of our glow.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't think they're trying to take off, but look at the red balloon. This thing is going to end up being picked up off the ground. I don't think there's anybody in.
Oh, no.
Yeah. In the whole, and this thing is just beginning. So that comes back down. It's actually attached to an SUV. So naturally, the power of the wind grabs an envelope like this. It will not only drag this, it's going to drag, I believe, a Suburban here across the grounds as we see this go through. Hold on, you'll see it here in 1 second. But look how much just elevation this thing gets.
It's just like a big kite.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, you forget about that power and how these guys shouldn't have even been doing that. And here we go. This is where you're going to see they're dragging the SUV right here. That's the SUV being dragged across.
Yeah, you got to set the parking brake, Mark.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. How about?
I knew it. If I had only hit the
If you
parking
only
brake.
set the parking brake, you'd be fine.
It would have been fine.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, so be thankful you have the greatest
It's
balloon
a small
event in the world.
threshold for winds, too. To
Yeah,
do that.
it really is.
You can-
Even in a glow situation, you don't want to mess around with winds over probably 20 miles an hour at the most.
It does make you appreciate the expertise of balloon
they're
fiesta.
tremendous. We have
Most
the best
people know what
event
they're
in the
doing.
world. There's no doubt about it. Maybe they ought to call up to Wisconsin. You guys need some help with something? All right, here's a look at what's going on across southern New Mexico. We have a couple showers going right now. A couple interesting things happening here weather-wise, which we'll get to in a moment. 78 degrees in the metro. Winds out of the south at 14. Southerly winds are important right now because southern New Mexico is where the moisture is. So if we push up southerly winds, get a little more juice in place for tomorrow, we may see a few more storms than we saw today. 60s and 70s off to the north, 70s and some 80s down to the south. And across southern New Mexico, we are pushing some of that moisture up toward Albuquerque. Now, not in the form of showers right now, just in the form of moisture. So once we add the heat of the day tomorrow, we may pop up a couple more storms across the area here. But as you can tell, it's not going to be a really widespread storm day. And really the next 3 or 4 days don't look all that great for storms. Through Friday, storm crop looks rather lean. And part of the problem with that is that high pressure is going to start to edge more and more over the state here through the next 3 to 4 days. So as that happens, we won't see a great deal of moisture across the state. We're going to have to make do with the juice that we have, which is okay down south, but up to the north, it's much spottier here. Once the high moves, which it looks like it will into next week, that could well lead to more storms across the area here. Maybe get the northeast more into the mix and the metro into the mix because we are going to push another cold front in here into next week to rejuice the atmosphere. But the takeaway from the next couple of days, we're going to have to recycle moisture over the state. So when you recycle moisture over the state, you don't add a great deal of new juice. So we'll push a little bit up from the south, get a little more storm activity for tomorrow, but think of it like a bank account that you're not putting any more money in. You're just taking it out with more storms. And eventually, we're going to run out of moisture, so we're going to need to get that high out from over the state and push it off to our northwest. 80s across southern Colorado for tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies, some more cloud cover for Friday into Saturday. Northwest temperatures here 80s and 90s with partly cloudy skies. Out to the southwest temperatures here 80s and 90s with the better chance at showers. Down across the southeast, one of the better potentials for showers will be here up to the northeast. Less action for tomorrow, but definitely a few more clouds. Northern mountains, some spot storms will be possible for tomorrow with temperatures in the 70s and 80s. East mountains are one of those areas tomorrow that I think we could see some storms thanks to the additional moisture. And here in the metro, we're going to be right on the edge with moisture coming up from the south. We could see a couple sprinkles.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
It will be hitting.